show, and then we're going to kick right into the tournament. We should be starting about 11 o'clock, right on schedule. Now, I just want to bring to your attention two things. This show is advertised as in memory of Ella, which is my granddaughter, who was tragically killed in a bus accident last October. And I just learned 2 days ago through Daryl Appleton, if you haven't seen it, that Smitty, the pool player in the Lehigh Valley, died of complications in the hospital just 2 days ago. And we're trying to raise money so he could be cremated. So I have a table out there. 1/3 of all the donations that I take in is going to the cremation for Smitty. And I want to do this show in honor of my granddaughter. So I'm going to tell a little story. Those of you who know me, a lot of you know me, I tell stories with my trick shots. And I want to introduce to you my family. I'm going to introduce to you my first daughter, my oldest daughter. Her name is Amanda, and she always went the right path. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get a daughter like that. I don't know how many of you have children, but sometimes you get one that does it all right. Okay? And this is in honor of Amanda, who always takes the straight path and does everything except that time. She didn't follow directions that time. We try. That's strike one. One more. We do one more. And Amanda, you're going to cooperate. She's really a very cooperative. She's number one daughter. And she cooperates. I have to make an adjustment. Life is full of adjustments. So I see what I did wrong, I missed. So I'm going to make a little adjustment. Now Amanda's going to cooperate and end up right in the rack like that. Now, I'd like to introduce to you my second daughter. Her name is Amanda. She's a little crazy. Crazy, ain't Paul? Okay? And Sarah. Sarah's a little wild. You know, I have a nickname. I'm called Leaping Lilies. Okay, those of you know me since I've been a kid. I've been a little different. I was supposed to become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. I became a pool player. My parents weren't too happy about that. So my daughter Sarah, she's a little different. She's a leaper like me. So I have a little leaping shot like that just in honor of my daughter Sarah. Now, I have 2 grandchildren. Or I should say I had 2 grandchildren, but let me just put them right here. Their names are Jaden and Ella. And I'm going to take Jaden and Ella and put them right there like that. And my daughter, Sarah, had these 2 children, Jaden and Ella. And she married her boyfriend. And her boyfriend, his name is Kenny. And you know how family situations get difficult, right? Because Kenny and they lived together for a while, the 2 children and them. And then all of a sudden, my daughter shows up on my doorstep. Okay, my doorstep. I live in a 1-bedroom attic apartment in Haledon, New Jersey, with my wife Camille. Okay, and my daughter shows up with Ella. Well, she was 6 months pregnant at the time, and with Jaden, and says, "Dad, I don't have a car, I don't have a place to live, and I got no money, and I just moved into my 1-bedroom attic apartment with my wife." Now, maybe you can relate to that. So we had to turn the living. It's only 4 rooms, and 2 of them are the bathroom and the kitchen. So we had to turn the living room into a bedroom, and Jaden and Sarah, 6 months pregnant, had to sleep there while my wife and I slept in the bedroom, which was the original plan. So this is Kenny, Sarah, they broke up. I call this the obstacle shot because life is full of obstacles. And you know, what happens is, things happen and they don't happen the way we planned them. And so the 5 of us, and I have a little shot here, the 5 of us, here's the 5 of us, my wife and I, here's my daughter, this is my daughter Sarah, this is, Ella was born in our house, and so there's the 5 of us living happily in our 1-bedroom attic apartment. And it was difficult, like it wasn't happily, it was very challenging. Here's Kenny, the husband that abandoned her and left her broke, carless, homeless. We're still waiting for him to come back, or at least we were at the time. And so there's Kenny. And so I got a little shot here with the 5 of us. There's Kenny on the outside looking in. And so here we go. This little, you've seen this shot, but a little story to symbolize my family here. And it looks like this. The 5 of us, and there's Kenny. Hello, Kenny. there was a new introduction to the fold. You see, Sarah lived with me for 2 years. The baby was born there, right? And then Sarah decided she'd find herself a boyfriend, another one, right? She's 25 years old, okay? And so now we have a new guy. His name is Greg. Oh, things get difficult now. And so here's Greg. Here's the 6 of us. Now it's Greg. We're not living together in the same house. We're still in the 1-bedroom attic apartment. Now the baby's at the foot of the crib. I mean, the foot of our bed in the crib. And Jade, 4 years old, and my daughter Sarah sleep in the other room. And now this boyfriend comes around. His name is Greg. And of course, he's in love with my daughter. And here's the 6 of us now. And let me bring Amanda. My other daughter, Amanda, well, she followed the straight path. You got one daughter that always does, well, you don't always have, but I have one daughter that did the right thing. And so she married a guy by the name of Tim, and he's in ministry right now. And so here we are, the 8 of us, one big family. Not quite happy yet. Can you ever be happy? I have to ask that question. I don't know if you can ever be happy. So here we are, the 8 of us, Amanda, Tim, and then the 6 of us with Greg included. Kenny, he's somewhere out in left field. You know, he's still abandoned. Okay, and here's the 6 of us. Uh-oh. And that just shows how nobody's perfect. There's Sarah, number 1, always having problems, okay? Well, here's what happened. We had an obstacle come into the situation. You see, after her living with us for 2 years, she decides she's going to move out in her last semester of college. We worked for 2 years for her to go back to school to try to get a life. I don't know how many can identify with that, you know. You have marital problems and you're working, you quit your job, you drop out of school, you fall in love again, all those kind of life situations. Well, I call this the wall of walls here, because there was a wall starting to develop between Greg, that's her new boyfriend, and me. Because Greg wanted to pull her out of school or away from us, right? He's in love. She's in love, right? And they're forgetting about the future. Well, who's paying for the now? Papa. I'm going broke here. I had to buy her a car. I had to help her with school. You know, maybe some of you can relate to this. You know what I mean? Because that's my daughter, my 2 grandchildren now, right? So here she is, Greg, and here's the wall. I call this the wall of walls because there was a big wall between this Greg and I. And I try to tell him, hey, listen, Greg, it's not you I'm against. It's any guy that comes around that wants to hurt her, maybe getting her degree and getting a career. I want her to get a career and a job and be independent. Since Kenny already abandoned ship. And now this new boyfriend, well, I don't know about him. He doesn't have a college degree. Not that you have to have a college degree. And you know, and he's not making a whole lot of money. Not that you have to make a whole lot of money. But I'm a little bit concerned. How many of you can identify with that? You know what I mean? So I call this the wall of walls, you know, the wall meaning that there's always seems to be a wall separating you when you want your way. See, I want my way. I want to protect my little girl, but I don't want to let God have her. You know, let me just say that again. I want to protect my little girl, but see, I don't want to trust God enough to let my little girl go find her own way in life. I think we can identify with that a little bit. And so here's the wall. It could be anger. And boy, I was an angry dad. It could be bitterness, confusion, all those things that make walls between people. So a wall started between Greg and I. And so here it is, the wall shot. We got to take this wall down and come on back here and have a relationship with this little fella right here. I'm still hoping Kenny's going to get his life right. There's Kenny back there again. Even though Greg's in the picture. See, I gave my daughter to Kenny, right? And they got divorced. But he didn't identify with that. And so here we go. The wall of balls. Come on down, wall. Some people just don't cooperate. Okay, now I want to advance the story, and we're getting to the end here because this is the critical part of the story. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life and this daughter of mine? And how am I going to figure all this out? How many of you can relate to what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So here we go again. We're going to put this 8 ball right here. And we're going to tell this it's getting to be the final chapter in this story, because there was a pumpkin picking, I don't know if you remember back in October, there's always places to go pumpkin picking during the fall season. Maybe you've been out to New Jersey, I don't know what you got out here. I'm sure you got it out here in Pennsylvania too. But my daughter decided between working 2 jobs, living with her boyfriend, trying to make ends meet with 2 kids. She's got the baby. Now Ella is 2.5 years old. They move out of our 1-bedroom attic apartment. She moves in with Greg. She does get her degree. I almost had a heart attack over that. Because she wanted me to write her papers for her, tutor her with this stuff. I didn't write her papers, but I did have to tutor her at 2 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean, okay? And so I am a college professor, so she wanted to take advantage of that, too much advantage, and I didn't want to cripple her and do it for her. So here we are here. Here's the pumpkin picking that's going on that day, October the 12th. October the 12th, and I want you to imagine that this is Ella now, right here. Black 8 ball. And it was a crazy day. Shuttle buses were coming in and out. This made national news, by the way. I don't know if any of you saw it on national news. It was all over the place. And it was very crowded. My daughter decided to run between 2 shuttle buses, and the one shuttle bus in front didn't see the shuttle bus behind, and flipped it in reverse and backed up. And it was a mess. My 2.5-year-old granddaughter Ella was crushed to death. My daughter almost died in the accident. She had to be flown to Morristown Hospital to save her life. And here's Ella, and I know, I got to tell you, here's Ella. Watch this. She's going to end up here. She's no longer with us. But watch this shot. It's going to be a mess. It was a mess that day, and Ella ended up gone like that. And let me tell you, yeah, thank you. And let me tell you, I got the phone call. At about 11 o'clock at night, my daughter, before she went into surgery, a 4-hour surgery to save her life, she had to call my wife and I and say, Dad, Ella's gone. What do you mean Ella's gone? Ella's dead. What? We were in shock. And within 1 minute, I promise you, in 1 minute, what came to my mind was the story of Job in the Bible. This is why it's so important to read the Bible. Job lost all of his children in the Bible, and the first thing he did was he praised the Lord. He worshiped God. Why? Because he realized that God was in control. That was the lesson I needed. Now, I'm not wishing this on anybody, even myself, but I needed to have complete control taken away from me. And at that moment, I realized I surrendered to God. Okay? This is what you have. I surrender. And maybe some of you got to surrender today, whatever it is you're trying to make happen. And so, what ended up happening is, my daughter did survive the surgery. She's back on her feet. She's doing great. And she's engaged to be married to Greg. Greg and I have reconciled our relationship. There's no more wall between us. And I have a little shot here, and I'm going to close with this little shot here. And I'm going to ask a question, because this shot I call the direction shot. What direction will you take in life? What direction will you take when trouble hits, when tragedy hits? Will you complain? Will you phone a friend? Well, that's not a bad idea to get you consolation. But who will you trust? Ultimately, I put my trust a long time ago in Jesus, but I have to live that out. I can't just talk it. A lot of you have dropped out of church, I'm sure, because you saw hypocrites. I know I did when I was a teenager. People that were talking a good line, but they weren't walking a good line. And so, my prayer is that I just learn how to walk. Walk the talk, not just talk the talk. I was here a year ago, and I did more talking. Because it was an Easter service. I gave you the gospel message, and I left it at that. But I had to go and live it after last year. If you remember last year, some of you were here. Now, I was being tested after I gave that message last year. Let's see if you can walk it now. And it wasn't easy. And it was a challenge and a struggle. But I'm here to tell you that I'm learning. I'm learning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask somebody to pick a pocket. You, sir. Any of these pockets. North, east, south, west. It don't matter. West, that's west, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and there's that crazy 8 ball. That's Sarah. That's me. That's whoever. Right? And we're going to make that black 8 ball in this pocket over here, west. Just because we need to have a direction, and I'm putting a scarf over it because we need to have a direction that's marked by faith. You see, the Bible says we walk by faith and not by sight. See, anybody can have a pocket full of money and have faith. Anybody can have a whole lot of accomplishments, winning pool tournaments, whatever, and have a whole lot of confidence and faith. But can you have faith when questions are not answered? That's how God wants you to come, by faith. So here, black 8 ball right here. Let's see if that crazy 8 ball is going to cooperate. We're going to go by faith, right in that side pocket. Oh yes, there's cooperation here. All right, now, I have here, Erik, can I spread these out? If you'd come up to the table, let them take it. Let them come up. If you want to win a free gift, please come up and take one of those. It's got a number on the back. Just come on up. Come on, don't be bashful. Take one. It's got a one. First, when they're gone, they're gone. When they're gone, they're gone. There's only 32. Come on, get one. One apiece. One apiece. One apiece. One apiece. Thank you. One apiece. Okay. Go ahead. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Okay, there's 5 more. You didn't get one. I know we got more players in that tournament. I'm just setting up this last shot. I'm going to give away the gift. Everybody get one? Who didn't get one? Hey, the kids get one? Where's the kids? I got kids here. Where are the kids? Come on, take one.
There's the kids.
I got some kids here. Now, just to let you know, I want to say this again, that outside on my table out there, I have, these are called the Jesus plaques right here. Can you see Jesus? Can you see Jesus? It's kind of hidden. Can you see Jesus? It's the letter, it's J-E-S-U-S on this plaque. It's very creative because the colors kind of freak you out and you can't see Jesus. Well, that's the way it is in our life. You know, many times we don't see Jesus in the troubles. I didn't see Jesus clearly until Ella died. Maybe some of you know Smitty. Smitty's gone, right? And I want you to know that, again, I want to remind you, I'm going to give 1/3 of the proceeds inside the box over there for the cremation of Smitty, and you can go online. Darren Appleton has a website where you can also give some money. We just need $1,000. We'll get there. We look behind and see who's giving and how much more we need. $10 for this. I got my life story. If you want to read more about my family and my pool travels, when I was a road player for 15 years, traveling the country with Mike Massey and all that, you can read about it. It's a book for $10 out there. I'll autograph it. And I got 2 billiard balls. I got extra ones, one signed by Mike Massey, Tom Ralston, and myself. We're a team. There's our team. We're going back to the Philippines on the wall over there. We're there in 2012 on tour. We're going back on tour this summer. And have a ball over there signed by the 3 of them, $25. The third of it goes towards Smitty. Also have a ball in memory of Ella, signed by me. And October 12th, 2014. I'll never forget that date. And 2 more. Here, somebody else want to take a bonus. Here, you look like a bonus and a bonus. Okay, 2 for you. Okay, this is the, I have some salvation bracelets out there. They're free. They're the colors of the gospel. The black represents walking in darkness. And a lot of us, including me, have walked in darkness for years, didn't know where I was going. The red is the blood of Jesus. I know he shed his blood for me. The white is the light going on, the cleansing of sin. That's why Jesus died 2,000 years ago. He really lived. Historically, we know there was a Jesus. The question is, was he, and is he who he said he was, who the Bible tells us he is? I believe he is, because he's changed my life. The yellow is the promise of heaven. I believe Ella is in heaven. She's gone, but she's with Jesus right now. My mother died last January. She's with Jesus. I hope Smitty's with Jesus. I don't know Smitty. I just heard the news. But we need to give him a proper burial. God bless him, rest in peace. And then the green is growing. All of us need to grow. I'm not there yet. I haven't learned everything I should learn. And I have some helpful literature back there. So I got Bibles, little tracts, little things. There's some cards. You can go take that. I'll be back at the table later. And you can help yourself so that you can grow too. You all are in a growth process here. And here it is right here. This is the Salvation bracelet shot. It looks just like that.
Nice.
All right. Now, let's give away some prizes. Okay. I'm going to give away to the winners anything they want free, including the balls, $25 balls. Okay? So whoever wins this, you got a number on the back. Look at your winning number on the back. What 2 digits do you have? The digits are between 1 and 6. So I'm going to take the 1 ball, the 2 ball, the 3 ball, the 4 ball, the 5 ball, and the 6 ball. I'm going to rack them up. And we're going to break the balls backwards, because I want to make sure I get a good break. I'd like to break them like that. And so I'm going to scatter these balls. And we're going to take the 2 closest balls to the bottom rail as the winning combination of numbers. So let's say the 2 closest balls is a 2 and a 6. Who's got 26? Who has 26? Look at your ticket. You would have won. Or, I don't think 2 of it, but one of you would have had to prove it that you won. See? 46. 26. You'd have won. Okay? Now, well, it's got to be the closest balls to the first. And the next closest ball is the... There you go. So we only have... All right, we ready?
We have 2 winners.
One winner. And listen, before I do this, I just want to thank you all for your attention. God bless you all. I really appreciate you listening.
Thanks for coming out, Steve.
And if we could just take a moment of silence for Smitty, just for a second. Let's just remember Smitty. I don't know him. Some of you know him. And let's have a moment. Okay, thank you. All right, here we go. The winner, just come see me and I'll fix you up as soon as I can. 2 closest balls. Okay. Uh-oh. 4 and hold it. 2. 42. You didn't win. 42. Come on. All right. God bless you all. Thank you. All right. 42.